Okay, maybe you need to read it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
The characters. Main argument, supporting argument, counter argument, conclusion. Boop, boop.
So the goal is to assemble the text in a bridge so that the truck can go over to the top of the flaming pit.
I'm just gonna press that. Okay. I'm gonna move these, I think. Let's put that there. Let me
What are those things?
Can you
okay,
just
sorry, sorry.
Yeah, think aloud.
Ribosome uses the message from the RNA to create the protein from amino acids. And my other choices are RNA carries the message from DNA to ribosome. Blueprint for protein is in the DNA. Without the messenger RNA, proteins cannot be built. RNA is a key component to the creation of proteins. Thank you.
Sorry.
Don't worry, it's good. Okay.
So we've got main argument,
Main argument.
counter argument, supporting argument, and conclusion.
Okay.
So you need to match up
Okay.
the text to the portion of the bridge that equals that text.
I'm gonna put that in there. Counter argument. Okay, this one's tough. Message from RNA to create. Okay. I'm gonna put this one down here. Ribosomes use the message from RNA to create the proteins from amino acids. I'm gonna put this one, I guess. And I'm gonna put blue. I'm gonna put this one here. Go.
Alright, so then we pull these out here and they go like this.
Okay, cool. I'm excited because I'm gonna have a lot of burning here, guys. Okay. You know the burning is good. Okay. Okay. This computer gonna laugh at me. It hurts. Okay. Can I just? I'm gonna. This is gonna make me really sad because I'm never gonna get this. Everybody's gonna keep dying. Okay. We'll do key component creation proteins. Without the messenger RNA, proteins cannot be built. Blueprints for proteins in DNA. Ribosomes use the message from RNA to create the proteins from amino acids. Boom, boom, boom. I want that one. And what was this part? This is where,
Well, basically I just made that up just now. So maybe it fills one in, I don't know, like.
okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep these ones then. Okay. Is that, am I allowed to do that again? No? I'm just gonna look up there.
Computer is
Yes, no, yes.
Laughing at you.
looking at the fear in the computer's eyes.
Yes. Maybe there. Is a key component creating. Well, I like this one. Don't do it. No.
Take some breath
Try
in,
again.
bro.
Before it even goes. Okay, I'm gonna. This one was good, right? Which one was the one you guys put in for me? That one. Those are happy. Okay, good. Wait. Okay. Okay. There. Go.
Hold on. Try again.
Try again. Okay, and then go. Boom.
Awesome.
That's really good.
So walk us through what you were thinking in terms of,
Well, first I was really embarrassed that I don't know what I'm sure is a central science concept. So, yeah.
where did you struggle and why?
So like the hint thing was nice. You gave me one of those. I think in terms of, yeah, it's a nice word. I think in terms of like concepting this as an argument, but like just that process, like concepting like RNA decoding as an argument, that was tough for me because I felt like it was more of like a fact-based thing, like rather than an argumentative thing.
Mhm.
Like if it was like, for instance, if that were like a thesis, and we've got a bunch of different like right. Yeah. It was frustrating. Yeah.
What worked well?
I think like the good visual cue and the burning people, like you actually want to save them, which is nice. And I think the the visual reminders here of what exactly you're trying to do were really good. And the components, like the actual like physical, I think there's just something cool about the physical like building of like a bridge or something like that. I think that concept's really good.
So what are these exactly?
There are the components
I can actually read this.
of an argument.
Oh,
So it's
sorry.
main argument, counter
Okay.
argument, supporting argument, and conclusion.
And you're trying to read through a set of text to kind of match them up. And then early on, it's almost like embodying or figuring out the affordances or the characteristics of each element. So we've kind of been toying around with the idea that these would have almost like personas a little bit,
Mhm.
and you're actually trying to understand what each of them represents. And then reading through the text and deciphering like, oh, this is the main idea, and that these sentences support that main idea, and that there's actually a construct that you're building there.
So what it is trying to develop the skill of figuring out how to correctly, what's the best way to build an argument. Like, what should you talk about first, second, third, fourth,
So
so on.
I have a question. So you like, it's sort of interesting, you didn't know anything about this. I feel like a lot of students are also going to come in with similar levels of like, whether they should or shouldn't know about it, they don't really. I sort of, maybe it was wrong, but when I was observing you, it seemed like you weren't totally really reading them deeply. It was more like, where is this going to go?
Right.
And I wonder if a student, if it's only 4 steps, is this going to be like, I'm frustrated, I'm just going to put them in every
Yeah,
just
so-
order and just worry about sorting them rather than like actually reading
Right.
it. And
And you imagine this is a really short game, that like in the real version,
Right.
it would actually be multiple levels, and then it would actually scale up to like some of the things.
So this is like maybe like level 2 or 3, where the first
Right.
level is just getting this order, and then you're trying to get like a person on a bike across, and then you're trying to get a 4-wheel vehicle across by adding these,
I was thinking,
attaching the text to the parts of the argument.
I think that is an interesting comment though to think about
Right.
in that other level
I
then,
agree.
how do you slow them down?
Right.
So, yeah. Are you okay?
I'm trying, my voice isn't working. I was thinking like what Alex was thinking, and I was so excited when you put the hint down. What can you do to prompt them to think? But on the game, what can you do to prompt them or help them so they don't get into this reordering things?
I wonder if you can just like a counter, like you can't hit go more than once every like 30 seconds. So maybe they'll like stare off into space, but maybe they might read it again.
No, or if you more than two, if you don't get it right within like 2 tries or whatever everyone dies.
You know, yeah, those number of tries, right? You can't just keep on hitting try.
Yeah.
We've
like
got
you-
4 people and
Usually 4 people in each time. He goes down one of them. It just doesn't come back.
I was gonna say go the completely opposite direction and make it so you can't actually lose. Like you go across the thing, you get a score based on how well you did instead of. Because basically, like, you said it's all like, you failed, and you just, I'm done, I failed, I can't win this game. And I feel like a lot of kids would do the same exact thing, it's like, well, I just don't know this game, I'm just gonna stop playing it, I'm not good at it, you know?
So you get a certain amount of points
You get a
based
certain
on
amount of
how
points, or
correct.
maybe it's like Oregon Trail, where you're going over the thing, and maybe it's one of your characters that you built on your bus dies or something, or gets hurt or injured or something like that, and you're trying to minimize the damage instead of, you know, saying pass or fail. It's like, you get that from school, right? You either pass or fail, whereas this is like,
That's
it's
a really,
encouraged
that's a
them to
really
have
good
more
point, that's a
fun
really
with
good
it.
point.
Yeah,
And
and
so
I
I
think
think
that's
the game should feed the next problem based on that score. So it's an appropriate level of difficulty.
Yeah, exactly, that scaling. Also, we talked about maybe there not always being a preset pieces of text, that it's actually maybe a forum that where a faculty member could come in and fill in their own elements. So if it's your lesson plan, you can choose a set of characters and then you set the text if you wanted to. But there's also pre-built
Yeah,
elements.
you
in
have
it.
like a pool
So
of
I don't know, like,
characters. that
what,
you-
like, which way to go with it, which was like, is it something that it's just the system and then you fill it, or is it like already set elements that you're putting together that in your science class you can incorporate?
Well, it'd be cool if they could scale too, right? Like if they, like, that's level 1, and then by level 4 or whatever, that's just a question mark that the kids need to put in and then fill in their answers.
Right, yeah, and so we talked about different ways we could scaffold it and make it more challenging for higher level students.
Was it fun?
Yeah, I'd save everyone. Maybe. Once out of 7 times, so that's good.